Hey there, beloved saints. I'm getting a sore throat, and I had to take my mom to the hospital today. Yeah, I think I'm just exhausted, and my immune system's low, so I'm not getting up to do tomorrow's thing. But I wanted to mention this because a few people have contacted me and said I feel really bad because you know I instead of keeping the gospel priority, I really dove into the political thing, and so I'm beating up people on the left or the right or whatever side they're on, right? Well, this is what I would say. First of all, forgive yourself. It was a very ugly mess and full of propaganda. I've never seen anything like it, where voices were shut, silenced. Um, I've never seen this level of hostility of just having a different opinion. But I will say that some on a far, far, far side um, need to, they do need to realize, because I think somewhere feelings became more important than truth. Um, and I do think there are some people that are blind. And that their world is very small. It's like revolves around self. And in that case, it does deserve some compassion because I I say, first of all, forgive yourself, okay? Secondly, learn from it. If you feel bad, learn from it and try to see people as, like, I want to see like handicapped. Um, that's kind of how I see atheists that deny, anything supernatural that they can't see. And it would be very similar to, I actually heard a Christian say this back in the day before we realized there was germs, right, that cause disease. Well, God had told the nation of Israel to always wash their hands in running water because we know now that's the only way to get rid of germs. You can't do it in stagnant water. And he didn't explain to them why, but there were, hygiene things that he had told that nation in his wisdom. But back in the 1700s, even 1800s, they would go from an autopsy or a surgery right to a childbirth, and the death rate of infants was super high. Of course, they didn't wash their hands. And so when doctors started telling them, no, you need to wash your hands before you go back and forth between patients, they thought they were crazy. What do you mean there's little microscopic bugs we can't see that? Oh, get out of here. Like, they literally thought that was insane. But if we look back now, we think, they were ignorant. They didn't have microscopes to see, right? Every doctor in the world would say, of course that's true today because they can see it, right? I think of these people as lacking or deficient uh, in their ability to see. And when you see it that way, you can tend to have more compassion. And so one of the ways we can do that is to ask them questions. And what you'll find is when you go, okay, we're gonna let's roll with that assumption that you're making. What if blah blah blah? Have them answer it. And what'll happen is their own mindset turns against them, and it makes them angry, and then they get ugly and blah blah blah. But you aren't doing anything. And you got to let the person have that. You got to let them process it because their worldview is about to get busted. And think about it. What if, not that that could happen because our faith is not blind. We have a legit reason for what we believe. But let's say somebody came along and said, all of that is wrong. It's all false. Imagine how difficult it would be for you. So we do need to have compassion in that any kind of growth is difficult and is resisted because humans tend towards what's familiar. So if a person's been stuck in the whatever mindset that's unhealthy, ungodly, whatever, try to have the level of compassion in the sense that they're lacking eyes. And if you have the patience, you can have a conversation. But I find that it's always better, just like the proverb says, a soft answer. Because when you infuriate someone or you come hostile at them, they shut down. So I would say forgive yourself, okay? We've all gotten emotional. Secondly, sometimes it's appropriate to say your feelings they're not accurate according to what's reality. And you can have a conversation, and it's a difficult conversation. Is it the right conversation to have with somebody you just met online? Probably not. Um, but there's a reason we push each other. Like, don't be a whiner. Don't be a baby. We teach people to toughen up. That not every feeling needs to, be validated. It doesn't. That's how we grow up. On the other hand, we're Christians. And so we need to watch how we communicate. Ultimately, I believe the cure is the gospel. Because then the Holy Spirit's in them and they can begin, as they grow in grace, to have the mind of Christ. But that takes time. It takes time because we also have the flesh still, and it will battle. So we do need to have patience. But have patience with yourself as well. So if you felt like you were less than loving or you got too in the political, just let it go. Forgive yourself, learn from it, and just practice communication with people that you disagree with. This is what we constantly say: liberty, unity, and charity. We don't have to agree on every single thing to love people. But I will say some of this has gone so far on one side that, yeah, sometimes it needs to be called out. No, you're being self-centered. It's not, you're not thinking about others. These things need to be called out for the hypocrisy, you know? So it's probably best not to do that at one individual person, though. It's better to speak against the idea than against a person who's holding the idea, because they didn't come up with it. They got brainwashed. So, fine line there. But in any case, I hope you guys forgive yourself, and let's just do better. God bless you.